Okay guys, so for today's Start From Stash, I'm gonna make that little basket you just saw, and I was thinking about using some other items to really dress it up, but you know what, I think I'm gonna show you how to make the basic basket, and we'll see how I feel at the end of that, because I don't really know what I'm gonna use it for yet, but I thought, well, Easter's coming up and cute things like that in the spring, we'll just make like a standard circular basket. It does involve a little bit of math, it depends on your dies, or however you want to cut it, but yeah, so I am so sorry that last week I actually forgot to do Start From Stash. There were so many other videos I was working on, and then it occurred to me on Thursday that, you know, the day before was Wednesday, and I was like, oh well. So I am very sorry for that, but hopefully you enjoyed the other videos, the tons of other videos I put out since last week. So thanks for watching them, guys. If any of the items I use here are available, I'll link them in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. And I told myself I'm not going to use that same paper pad. I've been bringing out that Deck Hits with a View preserved paper, I think it's called. So I'm going to use this one. It's called It's a Girl, but there's just a lot of cute, soft pink patterns in this paper. You can definitely use just regular cardstock. I was thinking if you use regular cardstock and run it through like an embossing folder, I think that'd be really sweet, because the basket would have like that whole texture on it, and it would be really lovely. But, you know, whatever it is that you want to do to decorate your basket. So what I'm going to do is open this up. I want a circular basket. Now we can make a square one super easy. And you know, you can even make it an oval shape. It doesn't matter as long as you can do the math that you can build up your side walls, you know, and go around. It can be any shape really. So yeah, that's what I was curious. In this diamond press set, this is the largest circle I have, so that is the one I will be using. I was hoping it would be like 4 or 5 inch circle. I'm not sure, but let's see. And then we're just gonna do some simple math, guys. So depending on your die and what size your circle is, you'll just go with that. So this is roughly a 4-inch circle. I think it's going to be exactly 4 inches, maybe. I mean, I don't know if you can see the cutting edge is just inside the 4-inch line. So let's say it's a 4-inch circle. And so I'm going to cut 2 of these just to make it nice and sturdy at the base. I haven't really thought about if I was going to use the pattern paper for that. I like sturdiness, so I'm thinking I might just use some other paper. What is this? Ooh, look at that. Can I get them both? Oh, it's just missing, or maybe this will be, you know what, if I can cut this and not have it move, that's perfect. So I'll use that. It's a cream colored paper. And I mean, look how cute this paper is. Aw, the little green flowers. I was thinking about using this one, but you know what, this is very kind of babyish. I mean, obviously you can make the basket for whatever occasion. Let's go with this one. My only issue is, and I will tell you, is that my paper might need to be longer than 12 inches square, or 12-inch paper. So let's talk about that in just a minute, but let me go ahead and run these through. I need 2 circles, and I'll be right back. This is some heavyweight, like 110-pound paper. So this is gonna be a lot like that little cup I showed you guys how to make, a little Ferrero Rocher cup, like during Christmas time. That was adorable. Look how close this cut. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, this paper I must have cut it at 4 inches, and this is exactly right on there. So we have the 2 circles. And we're going to do a little math just really quickly. Generally, to get my circumference of a circle, you're doing like 2 pi r. I mean, 2 times pi, which is like 3.14 roughly, let's say. And then the radius. And the radius is half of your diameter, right? So your diameter and the radius is just that half. So if I know this is 4 inches, I'm not going to say 2 pi 2, right? Because I already know the diameter or whatever. So I'm just going to do pi, the 3.14 times 4. It says I need like 12.5, I guess, inches, which is kind of a bummer because it's just sorry, because you know my paper is 12 inches, so I just need a little bit more for it to overlap. So kind of a bummer. What I'm gonna do is probably cut my paper 6.5-inch strips, and that way I have 2 areas where it meets instead of one area real close to the other, and it's gonna look ugly, right? Do you know what I'm saying? If I was to get this and then add another inch just to gap, you know, to fill that gap, it's not gonna look very nice. So let's see how tall we would want this, and that's the other thing we gotta kind of make up so it looks cute, right? Like, what is that? Let's say 3.5 inches. Okay, let's do 3.5 inches, but we also need some glue tabs. And you can make your glue tabs 1/2 inch if that, you know, feels good to you. So let's say 4 inches. So 4 inches by 6.5. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches, 6.5, 4 inches, 6.5, because unfortunately, we have to fill in that gap, right? So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Ooh, my new pink marquee should be in tomorrow. So I will definitely show you guys that. Obviously, I use it all the time. It's not really a review thing. I just want to show you that. It's so cute. Okay, so I should put this away, but I will put it right here for now. Oh my goodness. No, that's not smart. Let's put it over here. Okay. 2 circles. And we have these 2 pieces again. Oh, I kept the wrong piece. Hold on. I cut them and then I put the other pieces and I kept the shorter one. I meant to keep this one. Let's put this one back. So again, both of these strips are 4 by 6.5. And what we need to do is make a 1/2 inch glue tab. So there is a bit of a pattern that does have it, well, I don't know. I'm just gonna, it doesn't really matter. Obviously if you have a pattern, you want to follow that so that you do what you need here. Have it facing the right way. I was gonna say, I think this might have come from here, because this is from the same piece of paper, but I just cut it in a funny way. Alright, 1/2 inch glue tab. And again, if your pattern has a certain way it needs to be, this is gonna be at the bottom, so just know that 1/2 inch glue tab is gonna be at the bottom, so face your paper the correct way. And then another 1/2 inch, because that's what we decided. So our basket's gonna be 3.5 inches by 4 inch, you know, circumference there, or not really circumference, diameter. Hold on. Okay, so we have this bit. Now we are going to glue them together at some point. If you want to score it now and just kind of give it a zhuzh so it wants to start rolling, you can definitely do that. I'll do that to this one too, just scoring it and again giving it a bit of a zhuzh. What we are going to do is cut little bits into here so that it lays nicer when we go to put this together. And I'll use smaller scissors than this, but I'm just gonna start cutting. Now, you know, I did that, and then maybe a 1/4 inch. You can either make little straight snips like this, straight, and you have all those pieces, or you can make it a little more stylized where you kind of go like that, but right to that score line, okay? As close as you can get to the score line. And again, you know, these are maybe a 1/4 inch. And I'm just gonna take a moment to do that. So, you know, watch some TV, listen to a little podcast, whatever it is you like to do. You guys, I didn't realize it's already gonna be mid-March, and like I said, I planted a mango the other day. Mango tree. I planted a couple of other trees that I've had in pots that I bought last season. And I haven't done my video of my garden. Right now would be a good time to do it because things are barely now waking up. It's been wonky weather, right? Everywhere. It's been crazy. Usually in February is when I start doing all this stuff. But husband just mowed the lawn, so it looks pretty good. My little daffodils are blooming, super cute, and they only last so long, you know, so I'm like, I need to get this video going. But anyhow, thanks for sitting here with me and chatting a little bit. Just go across, and you know, I'm stopping every few seconds to pull that little bit out, but you see now I'm just kind of going for it. You don't have to pull it every time, and then again at the end. And I will do the same thing with this one, and I'll be right back. So I do have quite a bit of an overlap with these, but I don't really know. I guess we could start with one of them, right? I was just trying to figure out, do I want to, look how pretty the pink side is too. It's so pretty. I definitely want to start with the outside of the circle, which I know it's whatever you like, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Do you like putting yours together like this, or this underneath? When you do underneath, you're really getting on the edge, so it's going to end up being a little bit smaller. So when you go to pop this one in on top to cover up this part, if you're doing it this way, it might not fit in there because you're right on the edge of this instead of a little bit more outside. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to turn this over so that the nice side is facing up, and I'm going to start gluing. And I was just thinking, should I stick one of these together already just to start off? We can do that. Like I said, we should have about a 1/2 inch overlap since I did 6.5, 6.5, and we really need this. Well, I don't know. We might have less than that. Let's see. Yeah, we might only have like a 1/4 inch overlap, you know? So what I'm going to do is just start gluing it down on this outer bit. And then whatever happens on this other one, I'll put towards the outside. It'll make sense in a minute. So let's get some glue going. Always right to the very edge. And of course, all these little tabs, we're going to trap them. But I just start getting this close. I don't know if you see my hand down here is kind of holding that. You can definitely use hot glue, a good hot glue, because what I've noticed sometimes hot glues want to come apart, and that's really a bummer. So, and I'm just going little bit by little bit and really getting it tucked in there. So I'll hold that for a little while until I think it's not going to move. I'm not really pushing this over here because that tab needs to come and get tucked in, so I'm just really holding like a couple tabs at a time down here. And again, they're about 1/4 inch, you know, maybe a little more than that, it just depends. You definitely want a good smaller increment in between these things so that it folds around nicely, so it curves around nicely, should I say. You go like 1/2 inch tabs, it's not going to look very nice. So I'm just holding that area now. And I'm just going to do that till I get just before this last tab, okay? And I'll be right back. I'm just holding this, having my surface help me hold this down. And again, we didn't put any glue on this last tab. Now, if I bring this around, I did leave myself only about a 1/2 inch overlap altogether. That means a 1/4 inch on either side. So if you want it to be, you know, give yourself a little more room so that you can actually get this in here really, really well. I would say I did 6.5 inch tabs or strips, and I needed it to be about 12.5 inches, right? So that leaves me 13 inches. So maybe next time do 7-inch strips. That way you have more of a, like almost an inch overlap. If you like that look, I don't know. I am going to put a little glue in here and some down here. And I'm going to bring this piece in and just match it up ever so slightly, because again, I left myself a very small amount of room here, so I'm going to hold on to this. We could have put this together earlier. I just, you know, since I made up my own numbers, I kind of had to know where this might meet up in a very small amount of way, since I give myself the smallest amount of overlap. And you can always check too before you really stick it down that you're actually going to come around and be able to meet up, so I think we're good. And we'll just continue on. So from here, I should hold on to that a little bit longer, but anyway, right up to the edge, the glue tabs, right, that we discussed. We are going to trap this later, so it's not the biggest deal, but you do want them to stick. So I'm just kind of putting my hand down here. My thumb's kind of helping me get that together. And I'm just going to keep going. Glue tabs here and there, and then bring it closer, glue a little more, bring it closer, and I'll come back when I get back to the side. There's nothing in view here because I put this in front of me, and as I was going along, I'm just putting my hand in there and helping myself out there. Now, again, I did leave myself the smallest amount of overlap, so definitely if you have a 4-inch circle, I would recommend 7-inch strips just so that you can have a little more overlap. But we're putting glue there, glue on the tabs, glue on this. And we're just going to bring this around and put that together. Now be careful because I will say as you're bringing this together, if you bring it in, it's going to pivot, like it's going to divot in. So just be careful as you're putting it together that you're keeping a nice circle and not like making it more tapered. Okay, and I'll be back. As I'm kind of holding that and massaging that, since I got a really, really, really close overlap there, just making sure that's really stuck down. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue. Now you can use it, put it on your circle itself. I'm just getting not super close to the edge, but close enough because our circle is going to cover up this bottom part so it looks really nice and finished. So again, I'm going to put it where the nice cut side, the rough cut, is over here. And maybe you want to zhuzh it around a little bit so that your glue really spreads out. But for now, I'm just going to hold that down. And that covers up our little bits. And it makes a nice sturdy base. Okay, guys, and there is our little basket base. Again, if you're using a 4-inch circle, I would say make your strips, well, if you like the size of this, right? This is 3.5 inches tall. 4 inches tall by 7-inch strips, and then score again at 1/2 inch, and then go ahead and do your little cutting, and that way you have more to overlap. Mine are just meeting, which is really nice because it's a little more stylized, but at the same time it was a little harder to work with. So there's that. Now, I know we all have border dies that can cut it something super cute and lacy, and you can just take that border die, and generally they're probably 12 inches long or maybe 8.5 inches long, it just depends. And I would just cut it and place it here and either staple it, make some holes, put some brads if you want it to move, you know, the handle up and down, all those kinds of things you can definitely do. I was trying to keep it basic today, so what I'm going to do is just take some more strips of this paper, and let me think, what do I want to do with it? I don't know if I just want to make it straight, or actually add like a background piece like this beige paper. Actually, yeah, possibly. Let me see what I think would look good as far as how big the strip needs to be, the handle. And again, it's just, you know, what I would like to do, you can definitely change that up. I mean, I have another piece of that same paper and it's only 8.5 inches. That's a cute little handle. It's very little though. Maybe we'll do like a 9.5 inch handle, because that'll add another. Yeah, so let me cut a strip of paper that is 1 inch, 1.25 inches by 9.5, and then another decorative piece that is 1 inch by 9.25. Okay, I'll be right back. So again, I cut a strip that is 1.25 by 9.5, and then one that's 1 by 9.25. So just 1/4 inch smaller. And we can do the pink on the outside, but I'm just gonna keep it all the same. So I'm just gonna put this on here, and then we're gonna zhuzh it so it wants to have like a rounded shape. Again, you can pop holes in it, add brads, you know. Just pay attention to where you're putting your little holes, and then you do on the other one. And if you're making your own, let's say you have a 5-inch diameter, you know, circle, then you just, you know, find 3.14 times 5, and that's going to give you a number, and then maybe add an inch to that number, right? Same thing for any size. You have a little 3-inch circle, 3 times 3.14, and then add like an inch to that number. Look at that. So I'm going to wait for that to settle up. See how the glue is sticking funny there for some reason? Again, that's kind of why I was massaging it, because you definitely want it to be one. That was odd, huh? Okay, I'm going to wait for this to set up just a little bit, and then I'm just going to staple this, guys. Quick and easy. But I'll be right back. And now doing this, honestly, I feel like I should do this for like Miranda's class. Maybe a little project. Again, I would take like my hole punch, the crocodile, just, you can even glue it together. Well, if you're going to glue it, then obviously it's not going to move. You can just glue it down right here, right? Glue this one, then glue this one. Hold on to it. I don't know. I just feel like putting a staple. So, I was just wondering if I do it this way, it's going to be like a crooked staple. Oh, what if we did like a little X? So like this. And then came in on the other side. And again, this is just for decoration. Well, I mean, it is doing what it needs to do. I need to staple it, but I also want it there just to be cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then this side too. And so I'll just kind of eyeball that about how deep I did the other side. Something like that, and pretty straight. Okay. Wait, is that as deep? Maybe a little bit deeper. Okay. This little stapler, I got it at Michael's, and it's a little finicky. It was on clearance for $2, so I think I see why. But anyway, all right. Cute. I'm going to flatten that out, make sure these staples are really going to hold, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, and there's a cute little functional basket. I mean, it holds a ton. It's 3.5 inches tall. It has that 4-inch diameter that we talked about. We could put some lace on here. You can still put lace on there if you want with the little handle on the inside. You can put the handle on the inside, put the lace on the outside. You can put the lace down, then add however it is that you want to decorate it. What I wanted to press upon you guys today was the technique, right? So you can make your own. I mean, it's very much like that little cup that I had made that held a Ferrero Rocher. It was like a little hot cocoa cup basically, or mug, just much bigger. And this is the biggest die that I had in this set, but I do have larger dies from tonic, but also hunky-dory. I have some really big ones, and then I think some that I had picked up on Craft Stash a long time ago that might be like their store brand type. You know how they have like certain brands that are theirs. So again, you can make it much larger. Just do your math, and you're good to go, right? And again, I eyeballed this handle. I mean, it could be shorter, it could be taller. I think that's a pretty great size. It looks like a little milk bucket or something. It's so cute. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and make sure to start with Stash, and especially right now, I know we had a lot of launches and new things coming our way, and you know, just get into that Stash and use it up and have a fun time. All right, guys, I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.